What's going on, Battlefielders? It's your boy, Lieutenant Buzz Lightbeer, and it's time for another Battlefield Hardline weapon review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the SA-58 OSW. This weapon is originally available for the Criminal Faction Enforcer class and can be purchased for $25,200. After accumulating 1,250 kills as a criminal while using the SA-58, you can purchase the weapon license for a further $50,000 to use this weapon as a cop. Here's a little bit of weapon info and stats for you on the SA-58 before I begin my review. The country of origin is Belgium. The magazine capacity is 20 plus 1 in the chamber. The fire rate is 650 rounds per minute. The fire type is both full and semi-auto. The reload speed is 1.8 seconds with a bullet chambered and 2.5 seconds if you run the magazine completely dry. And the damage stats for the SA-58 are 43 hit points of damage per bullet at 20 meters and trails down to 24 hit points of damage at 50 meters. Now, having no previous experience with this weapon throughout the Battlefield series, I had no idea what to expect from the SA-58, but what the stats could tell me. When you look at this weapon in the Hardline weapons list, it shows that it has high damage and range, but low accuracy and extremely low stability. Now, in other words, this weapon will deal massive amounts of damage to an enemy, provided you can actually land several consecutive rounds on target. At only 20 rounds in the magazine and a low fire rate of 650 rounds per minute, this weapon looks less than capable, and I rarely see it on the battlefield. Now, when I first equipped the SA-58 and took it to the battlefield, I've got to tell you that this weapon is an unholy terror to control. It sports some of the highest recoil of any weapon in Hardline, and holding down the trigger will quickly result in you shooting at the clouds. Needless to say, this is not the most effective way to PTFO in Battlefield, and you will result in becoming cannon fodder in most to all of your engagements that you encounter. When you do get lucky and land a few quick hits, this weapon will drop your opponents in 3 shots. Now, I initially tried burst firing or pop firing the SA-58 to try and keep the weapon on target and had mixed results, but more often than not, I would lose the engagement. I'm sure many of you who have purchased the SA-58 have had the exact same results as me. You purchase the weapon, you take it to the battlefield and fight it, not the enemies, for several rounds, and then you put it on the shelf and move on to a smoother firing assault rifle or PDW. The only comparison I can give someone to firing this weapon full auto in combat is going to be like riding a raging bull with one arm tied behind your back, all while trying to drink scalding hot coffee from a plastic cup with no top. Sure, you actually get a little coffee in your mouth, but most of the time, you're going to get burned. So, instead of tabling this weapon, I took to the wikis and did some research as to what this beast was and who would have made such a primitive weapon. In my opinion, this is where the Hardline weapons list falls grossly short, as it just gives us a few base stats and nothing more. Now, what I found shocked me and changed my whole playstyle and opinion on the SA-58, because up to this point, it was nothing but negative feelings mixed in with a lot of colorful language. The SA-58 OSW is a short-barreled version of the FAL, manufactured by the Belgian arms designer and manufacturer FN. It shoots a large 7.62mm round, and it's meant to do maximum damage over large areas of the battlefield. Now, yes, it does have full auto mode, but that should only be used in extreme close quarters engagements. Remember, this is a battle rifle, not an assault rifle, and it's meant for high damage, precision shooting, and medium to long range engagements. Now, here's the trick, and if you haven't tried this and you're truly missing out on the devastating potential this weapon can unleash on the battlefield. When you spawn in with the SA-58 OSW, press the selective fire button to toggle this weapon into semi-auto mode. It seems so simple to fix, but it takes the untamable weapon that it is in full auto and turns it into a medium to long range laser beam. Once in semi-auto mode, the weapon's recoil becomes next to non-existent, and you will find that the vertical recoil of 1.0 is quite predictable and stable. In addition, the left pull of 0.2 and the right pull of 0.4 are minimal and means you can truly keep this weapon on target and dealing massive amounts of damage, especially since it sports the highest muzzle velocity, even surpassing sniper rifles of any weapon in the game. Now, my preferred setup for the SA-58 is the PKAS one-time zoom scope, laser sight, muzzle brake, and stubby grip. The hidden gem here is the muzzle brake, as it gives the recoil pattern just a little extra control and seems to have no hidden side effects. I'm going to have to rate the SA-58 OSW a 5 out of 5 stars. I am so pleased that I stuck with this weapon. It's my go-to weapon of choice now for all game types and modes, as it simply has a great combination of high damage, great range, and quick reload mechanics. I found it extremely lethal in Hotwire for taking out riders that were hanging out of the windows, and against the vehicles themselves, it's still highly effective. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up another Battlefield Hardline weapon review, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I'm interested to know what you think of this weapon, so leave me a comment and tell me what you would rate it and why. Also, if you could rate the video with a like or dislike, I would greatly appreciate it. If you're interested to see what I think of other weapons in the Battlefield Hardline series, check the description for a link that will take you to the entire playlist. Thanks for watching, and as always, likes, comments, subs are loved. This is your boy Buzz. Until my next weapon review, peace out.